What's up, Internet? I'm Aries Van Dam. Just going live today. Wanted to look at a whatever podcast from a few months back when Andrew was still on it. And it's about the age gap relationship. So let's dive into it.
All right, your reaction to the Tobey Maguire thing?
I think most women in their early 20s have no idea left, right, up, down, and Tobey Maguire being 49 is being completely inappropriate dating a 20-year-old, 21-year-old.
Why?
Because he's mature. He's been around the planet. He's, understands relationship dynamics. I think that women that young should be dating much closer to their own age. And to your point about resources and things like that.
It's funny that once women pass that age, they decide that they can start telling other women how to act when they are that age. It's kind of a weird phenomenon, but this woman is well past the age we're talking about, and still wanting to tell young women how to act.
The thing she's probably looking at is status. She's looking at a high status man with money, with fame, things like that. So those are the things she's attaching herself to. But in terms of,
now she just said this girl is only after Tobey Maguire for his money, and somehow she's going to paint Tobey Maguire as the bad guy in this. I want you to pay attention here, how he's the creep. She just said that girl is after his money, but he's the creep.
Being a woman of high value, going after those things alone is low value behavior. And it's his responsibility.
And no one cares what you think is low or high value behavior. Stupid.
Being the older, more mature person to date within the maturity level that he's at, not a very vulnerable young woman who is definitely going to be taken advantage of in other.
So she's definitely going to be taken advantage of. But you already admitted that the girl's taking advantage of him for his money, and that's okay. We have no problems with that because men are supposed to be the victims of whatever women want to do to them. Enjoy.
Ways in terms of her body and her time and her energy, and she's going to be falling in love with this guy when the chances of them actually working out are going to be pretty slim to none.
Erroneous.
There's a lot.
Because it didn't work out for her. When she had those kind of relationships, it didn't work out for her. So she knows it won't work out for this other girl.
The buzzwords here: vulnerable.
Yeah.
She's vulnerable.
Yeah.
He's going to take advantage of her body. Wouldn't that just apply equally back to Toby? She would be taking advantage of his body.
I know. I fully agree that it's an inappropriate match there, just age wise.
No. But that, I think, taking advantage of somebody typically, doesn't that only go one way?
No.
Or are you saying it goes both ways?
I think it can go both ways, absolutely. But you'd have to evaluate their personalities, what their actual intent is, and all of that. But based on observation, all we got here was a storyline, right? That's all we got. We got their age.
Yeah,
that's all
dating.
we know.
Yeah,
correct.
49, 20.
Yep, that's all we got. And so
Funny that he's the bad guy and she's the innocent victim. And you just admitted she's only with him for his money and his resources. So how is she the victim? If a prostitute robs me and steals all my money, is she the victim? I don't understand.
I just am saying that based on traditional, not traditional, but the majority of relationships out there that are like that, the young girls are going after money, fame, status, etc. That's taking advantage of him, right?
Okay.
Yep. And then likewise, he's going for the really young, vulnerable, easy, docile person.
Because she was easy at that age. We don't know anything about this girl. Are you assuming every girl who's young is easy? You're a nightmare from birth till death. What are you talking about? You don't get any easier. There's no change. Yeah, she's more naive, but she's still more awful. So
personality with a lot of life to go still. That's equal. Yeah.
What do you mean by vulnerable?
When you're young, when you're a teenager, when you're in your early 20s, this is both for men and women, you're a sponge. And that's a vulnerable place to be where you're not operating from an educated, experienced position. They're vulnerable in terms of they're easily swayed, they're easily suggestible. So that's what I mean by vulnerable. They're
yes, more agreeable. which is why they're going for younger women, because y'all get awful as you get older. You age like milk. And by the time you're in your 40s, you're impossible to even get to go do anything because you think every man's a serial killer. And you've been hurt so many times that you probably deserved because you go for the wrong guy and then you blame the guy for being the wrong guy.
Or a sponge.
So do you
So, I
think
mean, they definitely shouldn't be joining the military at that age.
I mean, I joined at 17, but that's
Yeah, I know,
wait,
but
hold
you
on.
definitely shouldn't have because you're a sponge and you're easily suggestible
Andrew,
and you
that's
don't have any autonomy. And
completely
you're just kind of, you're
You don't think the military would take advantage of you?
just kind of a fool, right?
No,
You-
that's
you must
completely
be.
different. You're someone going
Well,
in the
that's
military.
completely, why is it completely different?
Oh, I'll tell you.
They literally take children, 16 and 17-year-olds. They let them enlist in the, I think it was Vietnam. I think it was 17. They allowed you to enlist. They will take, she enlisted at 17. So they're taking people who are underage even and letting them go die in war. And you think they won't take advantage of you? Okay.
So when
Okay.
you go into the military, like I did at 17, you're going into a safe. When I mean safe, I mean it's structured. There's laws and rules and regulations in place. There's
Oh, because there's not laws and rules and regulations
Yeah, like there's no law against SA. You can violate those laws, but there's still laws. Like, there's no difference.
in place for, relationships and for marriage, even though there is, right? Like you can't just randomly essay women, right? Even if you're in a relationship, there's still laws in place, even if you're not in the military, right?
I don't know why you're getting so heated, Andrew.
This little technique, they do this all the time. Why are you getting so heated? Who hurt you? This is bullshit. This is just searching for some reason to get the heat off of her. She's hurting right now. It's starting to burn a little bit.
Well,
Well, I want an answer to the question.
there's the tone
I wanna
policing
know-
already.
I want
Just
to know why
engage.
you think. I want to know why you think it's okay to be when you say sponge, right? Oh, you're just a sponge. They have so much life left to live, girl.
I
right?
guess I'm just like,
Time
what is your
yourself-
point?
Hang
Like,
on, let me finish, and
yeah,
then I'll
what's your
turn it over
point?
to you. Okay, hang on, let me finish. You say, they're a sponge. They're just absorbed. They're easily influenced, right, and totally suggestible. These are your words.
correct.
I would say it's like having another producer in the room that knows exactly what your song needs. This is co-producer. The fastest way.
But of course, they should be
Yeah, so turn her over to the military because you're a sponge and you can be influenced and brainwashed. Yeah, that's why we give you to the military, not to a man who wants to take care of you for the next 18 to 20 years, however long you are together. Yeah, let's give you to the military. They'll treat you a lot better.
joining the military because they're easily suggestible. They're like sponges. They could be easily influenced into doing things they ordinarily wouldn't do. The SA rate for women in the military is sky high. Seems like it's a little bit of a contradiction there, right?
No, I disagree because they're two completely separate topics. Completely.
They always say this. They pretend like they don't know what an analogy is. Of course, it's different. If you can't compare the same thing to the same thing, if you don't compare something that's different, there's no comparison. It's all equal, right?
Separate topics. The question was, do I think that that massive of an age gap is an issue? And my answer, in my opinion, is yes, I think it's an issue. I think like 10 years is appropriate as a max. But like once you start getting into like the 20s, et cetera, I think it's completely disproportionate. There are different areas of their lives, and that's my opinion.
Like for your commanding officer, for instance, who's probably going to be much older than you are, right?
That's so different, Andrew. Like one is a
Why
teacher.
is it different? You're suggestible, which means you can't make good decisions because you're a sponge. You're always absorbing the things that are around you.
You
This
know,
is your logic, the entailment of your logic.
We can give
Why
each
would it
other the
only
space to
apply-
talk,
hang on,
but
hang
you
on,
cut
stop,
no, you
hang
cut
on.
me off.
He's using her own logic against her and she's getting heated because she doesn't like seeing that her logic doesn't make any sense.
I just let you go.
No, you cut me off
just let
first.
you go.
You cut me off
You
first.
were done
I was in
talking.
the middle of giving my answer,
You
and you
can't,
cut me
you
off
can't be like,
first.
hey, I'm done talking, and now you can't talk. No,
Andrew,
no
we've done
fucking
this
way.
before
So let me
together.
finish.
I will,
Let me
but once I
finish.
finish my
Let me
point.
finish. Stop talking. Let me finish.
Andrew, I'm
almost
not going
done.
to take that from you or anybody.
I'm not going to tell you. I'll get up and leave right now, right this second.
I'm not gonna do
anybody
this with you,
cares.
Andrew.
Are you
I'm not
gonna have
gonna
a
do this.
discourse like adults, or what?
I-
You
we-
can't finish talking, and then when I
Okay.
start talking,
I
you
just
cut
have
me
to
off.
come in and pick one of you
Yeah,
to finish
that's
your
fine.
things. Andrew gets to finish.
That's
Go ahead,
fine.
Andrew.
Okay, so anyway, your line of logic would still apply to other situations. If women are easily suggestible, they're just young sponges, they're just absorbing the things around them, you say these are two different situations, as though I'm talking about them like they're the same situation. The logical entailment, though, would apply in both. That's the point.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, I didn't specify women. I said young people.
That's the woman trick there. Just I just ignore everything you say.
Both men
Gotta
and
work in a
women, when
debate.
they're in their early 20s, are very suggestible, impressionable. They're sponges. That's what I said. So I wasn't specifically talking about women. We were not talking about the military. And the difference that I was trying to articulate was that if there's a 20-year age gap between myself, as an example, and a staff sergeant that's in charge of my platoon, his job is to train me, is to educate me, is to lead me, is to build me into
Just like that man. That's his job. Even though no one gave him a list of duties, that is the man's job, to lead you, to guide you, to help you grow. That's what the man is doing too. Same thing. Same thing.
to being a soldier. That is not the dynamic of the particular male that we're talking about. Tobey Maguire's job is not to teach a 20-year-old how to.
If he's going to date her, yes, it is. Yes, it is. He's going to have to train that girl because that girl has not been trained. So he's got to take her and show her what he needs and what he wants from her. And if she can do it, she can be a millionaire and live in his big mansion. Is that awful? Is that awful of him to do that? To just give somebody like simple rules to follow and just, hey, no other guys, no doing this, no doing that. Teach her what to do, teach her how to be proper to his liking. And then she gets to benefit with all the money and the resources you said she was looking for. But this lady wants to stop her.
How to be an adult and a woman and to know her rights and to know her boundaries and her limits and what she likes and doesn't like. That's not Toby's
That's not a
job.
staff sergeant's job either to teach you how to be a woman.
They're two completely different topics.
That's your logic. It's your logical application. Staff
She just said that. She said that he guides her and molds her, and she said that.
sergeant's job not to teach you how to be a woman either. Okay, when you're talking about a power imbalance, if you're saying that people are so young and impressionable they can't make the decision of who they date based on an age gap, which is absurd, this logic should still apply to the situations that they can engage in, which is contractual. For instance, signing a 4-year contract for your life, right? That you then hand over to the government. If you're incapable of determining who you can or can't date, why in the world would I think that you could determine whether or not you signed your life over to the U.S. government?
So hold on, again, two completely different topics. I did not say a staff sergeant was going to teach me how to be a woman. A staff sergeant would be teaching me how to be a soldier, just to clarify.
That's right.
And in terms of the topic of, them joining the military, et cetera, again, we're not talking about that. We're talking about whether I personally, the question was whether I personally find issue with a 20-year plus age gap. I personally find an issue with it. I don't think it should be illegal. Should the woman be able to decide to do that, or a man could be reversed? Absolutely, it's their choice, it's their business. I'm just saying the question was, do I have an issue with it? And I'm saying I have an issue with it.
So then here's what I'm doing. What I'm doing, right, and I'm going to use my best HR tone. What I'm doing is I'm taking your applied logic that you apply in this situation and also equally applying it to other situations to see if it's consistent. It's called an analogy, right? So in this analogy, if you have a personal problem with age gap relationships based on the fact that there's power dynamics and that the woman can be super suggestible to this 49-year-old who's super powerful and these all-powerful Za, okay, then this would still apply to the fact that if she made other contracts or other, life choices, why is it that she's capable of those? You have no problem, but you have a problem in the instance of her picking her partner.
Again, these are two completely different scenarios with two.
You can keep saying that like we don't.
Again, he just described to her what an analogy is and why you use it to test your logic. They are definitely going to be different. Every time you hear an analogy, it's going to be with two different things. Because if you compare the same thing, it's just the same thing. There's no comparison. It's exactly the same. There's nothing to talk about.
Know that.
Listen, Andrew, we just disagree. So I think we should move on because we definitely disagree on this.
That's the argument.
I'm not going to keep arguing with you. I'm not going to. So we
But she won't say she's wrong. She won't say she's incorrect.
disagree. That's my opinion. I don't need you to agree with it. I don't need you to find logic in it. That's just my opinion. So I'm ready to move on.
She's going to have to move along to that door if she wants this to stop. It won't stop because she won't let it stop. Just like in the last video I showed you, women are incapable of admitting when they've been beaten. The only way for this to end is for her to leave or to get kicked out. That's the only two ways she can leave because every woman they bring on is incapable of saying, hey, maybe I'm wrong. Let me think about this a little more. Let me go home and think about this a little more. That would have got her out of all this. They would just jump to the next person. That's simple. That's simple. Let me go home and think about this. I may need to think about this a little more. You're bringing up some good points. That's all she had to say.
Yeah,
Can't
but
do
I'm
it.
not really ready to move on. I'd really
You
like
can
you
keep
to answer to
going.
this
You can
because I
keep
don't
going, but
understand
you're
the
going to be all
logic.
by yourself.
Good for you.
Yeah, you tell that mean guy who wants logical consistency.
No, I love
tell
you,
him
Andrew.
that-
I don't think
that
he's
jerk.
mean. I just think it's two completely different scenarios. It's not even the same thing.
Again, dummy. They're not supposed to be the same thing. You can't compare the same thing to the same thing. Why does she keep saying this? Does she not know how an analogy works?
Yes, well, are apples the same as oranges?
I'm moving on, Andrew.
Are apples the same as oranges? Can you answer any basic questions? Is up the opposite of down? No, just nothing. We're just
can't keep
not.
quiet
We're
for
just not
long,
going to
though.
answer any questions
She's
at
a
all.
woman.
What we'll do is we'll just take positions that never defend
We know she's a woman, so we know she can't sit there and take this for long. If he picks long enough, it's going to go. You'll see.
them. I'm not going to do that.
I'm not
That's-
here to debate you, Andrew. We've been through this before.
What are you here to do?
On a
I'm here
debate
for the
show.
dating conversation. I'm not here for you.
This is a conversation
I'm not
about
here for
dating.
you.
We're talking about specifically a person who's dating someone who's far older, and I'm testing the logical consistency of your position.
But I don't need you to decide whether my logic about whether I think a 20-year age gap is appropriate or not. I don't need your approval on that.
I didn't say you needed my approval.
So then
We're having
why,
a conversation.
It's
I don't
not a
care if you approve or
conversation
not.
when you're just like going to disrespect. Like I don't need that.
How is that disrespectful?
And
Famous woman tactic here. Anytime you can't contend with an argument, it's disrespectful. What did he say that was disrespectful? He didn't call her any names. He didn't insult her. He didn't do any of that. He's just telling her that her ideas aren't making any sense, and she's seeing that, and she can't cope with it.
Andrew, I'm not
Is it
going to
the
do this with
tone?
you
Are you
this
going to use
time.
the HR thing? Is it the wrong tone? Is it the HR tone? Are you going to give me the HR tone speech? Don't do the HR tone speech.
No, I'm not entertaining this, Andrew. I'm not today.
Not today.
Not today.
Okay. I mean, if you don't want to engage, you don't have to engage.
Yeah,
But it's just,
I'm in
you
my
know,
healed
you-
girl
you
era,
should.
Andrew.
Mhm.
I'm not going to argue with you today. We're going to be friends again after this.
No, I don't take any of it personally. I don't understand why you take a position and then won't defend it.
Because
just don't get that.
I'm going to tell you why, if you genuinely care to know. Because we're talking about my opinion on whether a 20-year age gap is appropriate or not. I said no, right? I don't think it's appropriate. And you
Right.
tried to bring in logic about someone joining the military, which is a completely different, like not even in the same universe topic.
Can opinions be wrong? Yes, opinions can be wrong. Who knew? If I think the sky is green, that's my opinion, but it's wrong, right? There you go.
Wise.
Okay, so do you realize that if you bring up a hypothetical, for instance, that it's not going to map on to reality or the situation exactly, but you can still test the logic of a person to see
You
if they're
would
consistent.
need to.
Hang on.
Okay, all right,
I
go
just
ahead.
let you
Go
let
ahead.
you finish.
Go ahead.
So all I'm trying to do is this. I get that you have a problem with an age gap, right? What I'm trying to determine is why. And if you have that problem, in this instance, I would assume that in an instance which was similar, where these same traits are applied, you'd have the same problem. Makes sense to me.
So again, I'll just recap it one more time for you why it's totally different, why the logic cannot be applied to the same scenario.
Okay.
Because I'm talking about a
Riverside lets you podcast like you've got a full team without actually needing one. It's your all-in-one platform.
a
that
young
shit.
girl or boy, it doesn't matter what gender, going into a scenario where they don't even know they're left from right, they're up from down, they're brand new into being out of high school, they're just entering the world, etc. For a 49-year-old man or woman to come and pluck one of those two people up, you would. My first question is, why do you have an interest in someone that young? Like.
Why is it your business?
Can I make a quick comment?
Me, girl.
Jumped ahead.
So
5-year-old over 25-year-old, because the 35-year-old has a lot more life experience. They're
more
very.
bodies.
That's not what I mean at all.
But well,
Right. What is it, our business? Who cares why? He wants her because she's fitter. Obviously, younger is fitter, better shape, looks better, not raggedy, not old, not fat. There's a million reasons why he would want a younger girl. What business is it of yours?
Well, when you say more life experience, more trauma, more
No,
baggage,
that's not what I mean at all.
more sexual
No,
partners.
no, no. Now you're adding in
Well,
things I didn't
that's-
say.
More STDs, more bad credit, more ex-boyfriends who want to fight you. There's all kind of shit that goes along with older women. Kids, fucking a dozen animals. I had
Brian.
life experience.
No, no, no.
You
That's
mean
not what I
relation?
said.
You mean
That's not what I said.
right? But I mean,
No, you're adding in things I did not say.
right? But so okay. Go ahead. Continue with your point.
Yeah. So I'm talking about life experience as in contrast, is in what they want and what they don't want. And I'm talking about jobs, career, where they want to live.
Okay, career.
Right, so she wants to talk about the good parts of life experience, but not the bad parts, because all experience comes with some baggage too. You had to do something to get through that experience. Something happened to you. You have been altered from before. So you don't want to address the bad part of the baggage. You just want to address the good part of the experience. Forget the bad parts, I guess.
Who they want to
Yeah.
hang out with, who they want to associate with, their ideology, their religion.
And they're set in these ideas. So now when you want them to do your things, they're going to give you headaches. Whereas a younger girl will just be like, yeah, I'll try that. I've never done that. And they'll go with it. So you're kind of hurting your own case, lady.
Okay.
Whether they're spiritual or not. Like there's a lot of contrasting
Yeah.
moments. And which, by the way, I'm not at all talking about anything to do with relationships. I'm specifically talking about maturity in life. Maybe they've gone to college. Like, there's a lot of different things that will help shape the woman and the person
Great. So they'll have green hair and a nose ring that goes through the middle. Awesome. Just what you want, a septum ring.
that they're going to become.
Okay, so there's a couple things here. So you mentioned life experience. Do you think a woman's life experience is high on the totem pole in terms of what men find attractive or care about?
Yes, I'm desperate to hear about your trip to, Tokyo that you took with some guy. Yeah, I need that. I need that in my life. I need you to tell me about the rich guy who took you to Miami to go on his yacht. I need to hear about that. I think I'll just go with the younger chick and not have to hear it.
To be honest, high quality men would care about that.
About your life experience?
Yeah, high quality men would care about that.
So does that include both?
How would she know? How would she know? She's dating plumbers.
Positive life experiences and negative life?
No offense to plumbers, but she's talking about this like she's dating Elon Musk or something. No offense, plumbers.
Life experiences.
For some people, I think conversations that I've had with extremely high quality men, I think they would care if you've had some contrast in your life so you can learn and grow and yeah.
And how did you come to the conclusion that high quality men care about females' life experiences? How did you come to that conclusion? They told you?
I've had a lot of extremely intelligent conversations with a lot of extremely intelligent men, very high level men, and they absolutely, if they're
And they nodded while they looked at your tits, just like all men do. That doesn't prove anything.
appropriate and they have good intent to be married, to have a wife, to have a family, to have children, etc. Those are the things they care about.
A woman's life experiences is high on the totem pole.
I can tell based on your line of questioning that you're trying to make a point. So just make the point.
No, but I mean, again, I'm asking you, do you think that a woman's life experiences are high on the totem pole in terms of what men find attractive or what they value in a partner?
So besides physical attraction, which I think is the baseline, I think physical attraction is absolutely the baseline, right?
Okay, is a 25-year-old woman more physically attractive at 25 or at 35?
Sometimes 25.
Here's where they start going into delusions again, that they're going to be prettier at 50 and all this other horse shit. They can't admit that they're past the prom. None of them can. I'm a guy. I passed my prom about 20 years ago. These dummies still think, well, some of them are young, but this chick, I think she's 40 something, 50 something maybe. And she's still thinking she's in a prom. They all do. It's
Sometimes
sad.
not. If they've had some work done, they're probably a little bit better.
Do you think you're 34?
Yes, because plastic surgery makes you much prettier. I like my woman to look like a blow-up doll. If I like that, I would get a blow-up doll.
Or correct?
I'm 34.
Do you think you're more physically attractive now?
If they put them on sale.
Yes.
At 34 than you were at 24?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
We had this conversation before. You haven't seen me at 24. You don't know what I look like at 24.
Well, I just know sort of about aging.
Sure, but
the impact it has on your skin.
yeah. Well, I mean, we're not. Your question was not about me.
I'm going to say this too. People underestimate the skin. That is the one thing women need to value the most. Whenever you get older, once you're over 35, good skin is better than big boobs. And I'm not joking about that. That's very serious.
My physical body, but go ahead.
Just one quick point of clarification. I was kind of going through, I always take notes when people are speaking, right? Because I have a bad memory. But you did say that you didn't have any problem if they hooked up. You only had a problem if they were in a long-term relationship.
Yeah,
that was really weird. I don't understand that either.
Yes,
sure.
I was going to bring that up.
I'm happy to walk through this. And again, guys, this is just my personal opinion. I find it a little icky when there's an older man dating a super young woman. It seems a little weird.
Does it give you the ick? It gives you the ick?
It does, yes. It gives me the ick.
It says give you the ick.
It gives me the ick, Andrew.
It gives you the ick.
It
Okay.
does. It gives me the ick. This is just my personal opinion. Like I said,
So it's fine if they have casual sex and never talk again.
Listen,
That's
said
not
my
good.
personal opinion. This is just my personal opinion. If they're just hooking up, that's their right.
Now listen, she's going to say it's okay if the guy just wants to blow his nut in her and run. That's good. That's fine. No problem. But if he wants to take care of her and be her boyfriend and, you know, maybe marry her one day, that's inappropriate and she's got an issue. Now you tell me that doesn't smell that she's just jealous that these younger girls are getting attention from the same men she wants. Because otherwise, she doesn't care if they just fuck her and leave. But if they start trying to settle down, it's an issue. So who is that an issue for? Is that an issue for the girl or is that an issue for you, lady? Because you're the one that also wants men of that age range. You tell me.
Right, as consenting adults. Where I get concerned is when the older man is trying to like look at this person as like their wife, and this poor girl who's like 21 years old has not even.
Doesn't she have to be the wife to get the good end of that resource that she was trying to get? So she desperately needs that, and you're trying to talk him out of it.
And experienced any life in any way, shape, or form. That's just not going to work out well. That's just my opinion.
Wait, hold on. So just to be clear,
Guys, I really
hold
want
on,
to
hold
move
on.
on.
Let me, but okay, you said the thing, so I got to respond.
Sure.
So okay, just to be clear, less predatory, less bad if the guy fucks her and never talks to her again versus
I didn't say that.
You said if they're just hooking up and that's it.
I didn't.
But when the guy wants something a bit more serious, that's where you have a bit more of an issue.
I think that them trying to date long term and like her become a wife at 21 years old to somebody who is double or triple her age is
good
creepy.
Catch, unconventional man.
I
He
think
was
it's
the one
creepy.
who caught that. He said,
No,
"Hey,
I heard it.
Did you notice that?" And I was like, "Man, that's a great catch."
So,
I couldn't believe it.
You're fine with
How
short
is
term.
Guys, this
How
is
is
my
it that
personal
you can
opinion. I
possibly
don't need to
reconcile
convince
this
you guys.
position?
I don't need to convince you guys. This is just my personal opinion. I think it's icky. I don't even. I'm not even mad at her. I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, go in your own age range. Like, get a little.
And get out of mine. Go to your age range and get out of mine. That's what she's saying. She doesn't know she's saying it, but she's saying it. And that's why she's saying it.
Closer. Like, what are you doing? It gives me the ick.
Okay, but so going back to the question at hand.
Same ick she gets when she has to go to bed early on a Saturday night and the guys her age are out fucking younger girls. That's the ick she's getting.
So you said that you're kind of fine with it.
Chances are you already have a Grammarly subscription.
Hate
The
ass.
easiest way to score top essay marks like this.
If it's just casual with the age gap. So if it's short term,
It's
you're
their
fine.
business. They're consenting adults. I just find it creepy when now you're like at a restaurant and you look next to you and this guy's gray haired and like could be her grandfather and she looks like she just got out of high school. That's weird. I
Okay.
find it really inappropriate.
But so just, I'll ask the question again.
Yeah.
I don't even notice who's eating at other tables. Why would I give a fuck who's eating at the next table over? Unless they're trying to take my food, I won't notice who it is or what they look like.
You're okay if they hook up.
But I won't be dining alone like this lady. I'm sure she'll notice because she's going to be alone.
1, 2, or 3 times, and then that's the extent of it. But you're not okay if the man is
I'm
desirous
not
of a
okay
long
with
term.
that at all on a personal level,
But
but,
you-
it's
that's what
but
you-
I'm saying it's their business. I'm saying it's their business. I
Meaning it's not their business if they try to have a relationship. It's only their business if they're just hitting and moving on. She just said that.
don't need you to
So
understand
isn't
this. I
it
don't
also
need,
their business
I'm not
if
trying
it's
to
a long
convince
term?
you. I'm not trying to convince you.
That's cool.
I'm just ready to.
But I'm asking for clarification.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. So you're fine with it or more fine with it if it's short term, but if the guy is desirous of long term, that's your
I'm
you
saying
have
it's
more
none
of
of
an
my
issue.
business, but you know, like if they're
So
having
wouldn't it
sex,
be
they're
none of your
consenting.
business? Wouldn't that be none of your business if it's a long term?
You ask.
I think it's none of anybody's business either way. If she's an adult and he's an adult, whose business is it? So be how I answered this question.
Asked me my opinion on seeing the news of Tobey Maguire dating someone double his age. I said, I don't like it.
Right, but you made a statement. I'll repeat myself one more time.
Sure.
You made a statement where you said you don't really care or you don't mind if it's just kind of casual. They're just hooking up. Do you recall saying that?
I do,
Okay.
and I did.
So then that would seem to imply that you do have an issue then if it's more long-term, if the older man's desirous of having a long-term relationship
Yeah.
with her. Whereas if he's just like, sees her at the club, wants to
Yeah.
fuck, then that's that's cool.
And she's a consenting adult, etc. But where it gets weird for me is like, and this is for all young men and women, they're going to go through a few bodies as they're exploring. A lot of people in general, right? Not everyone. Some people don't, but like I think that's
More
normal.
baggage.
That's normal. That's normal. It happens for guys
More
and
baggage.
girls.
So then Brian's
Sure.
right. It's more life experience means more body count.
But if you're asking me specifically in that scenario,
More jealous boyfriends, more exes who can't get over them, more child support sometimes, more even alimony in some cases. Yeah, a lot of baggage, like bad credit. They don't realize how much goes along when you try to date older women.
but I'm just saying I don't think that guy should be like getting married to someone who's triple younger
What if they
than
did
him.
for 5 years and now she's 20, now she's 25?
Yeah,
Too young for Leo.
I'm just done, Brian. I'm done with this topic.
Too old.
You
Sorry,
asked me my
too
opinion.
old.
I don't like it.
My
I don't
bad.
need you. I don't need you.
Yeah, but you said another thing, and now I'm trying to
Okay.
get to the bottom
Brian,
of the thing that you said.
You asked me my opinion. I
Yes,
gave you
but I'm
my
asking-
opinion. I don't
Yeah,
like
you
it.
gave it. Well,
I
but
don't
now
need
I'm
you
asking for clarification.
But I don't need you to prove me right or wrong.
I'm
That's
not
just my
trying to prove you
opinion.
right or wrong. I'm asking. You can't even answer the question.
Well,
I'm answering
I
the
understand.
question.
I understand you're trying to give your opinion. You keep saying I'm giving my opinion, but opinions are based on.
This could all stop right here. All she has to do is say, look, maybe I need to rethink this. I need to go and do some soul searching. You'll bring up some good points. Let me go think about this. That's all she has to say. And they have nothing they can say. Just, okay, go on to the next person. What are you going to say? She's just kind of conceded and didn't concede really at the same time. She's just saying she wants to think about it more. And that would have got it off of her. But women can't do that because they have to have all the answers. They can't look like they don't know something. It'll hurt her.
On some sort of logical reasoning. Now, all Brian and Andrew are trying to do is try to
I know
figure
exactly
out
what they're
is
trying
that,
to do. They're
what is that
looking for
logical reasoning
engagement.
behind it. Because if there is no logical reasoning behind it, maybe your opinion
I'm
should
going to engage in
change.
your opinion. Yeah, that's true. I'm going to engage in your opinion. That's correct. Yes,
Andrew,
you're right.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
You don't like
don't
it when I
need you to
engage with
like
your
it.
opinion?
No, I'm talking about
Don't go on a debate show, lady. That's what you're there to do.
the dynamic. I just don't like it.
Maybe, okay, that's
You
fair.
need to
Guys,
go maybe
move
the age gap
on.
thing.
So-
Move on.
Well,
If
hold
it's
on,
your-
hold on,
if
no,
you-
wait, hold on. Just to be clear, if I want to talk about this for the next 5 hours, we're going to talk about it for the
Yeah.
next 5 hours.
We
It
can
is
talk about it. I
Brian's
don't have
show.
to.
Now, I'm not inclined to talk about it for
Yeah.
the next 5 hours, but if you wanted to move on, instead of kind of attempting to obfuscate and derail, you could just
There
like...
was no derailing or obfuscating. I'm just saying I'm
Yeah,
done
you could
talking
just like
about
answer
it.
the question.
But I did.
No, you just kind of say, I already answered the question, now move on.
Okay,
the
Brian,
question
you've
was,
been in a bad mood
the
since
question,
everybody
cool,
showed
Yes, I
up.
have been in a bad
Yeah,
mood.
and you're
Deal
taking
with
it out on me right
I'm
now.
not taking it out on you.
You are.
I would engage with you just like this, regardless. If I had the most smooth pre-show, I would have engaged with you just like this, regardless. So it has
No,
nothing
you'd
to
be
do
a
with
little
the
bit
fact.
nicer.
No, I can attest. Brian
I
do
would
the
engage
exact
with
same
you.
thing.
This is not
I
my
would
first
engage
time
with
here.
you.
This is my
exactly the
ninth
same.
time here.
Yeah.
I'll ask
cool.
one final question and then I will move it on. So just as a point of clarification, can you answer? You said you don't object if it's older man, younger woman, and they're just hooking up.
It's their business.
But you do object, older man, younger woman, serious long-term monogamous relationship.
I would look at that
She can't see it.
older man and I would wonder what is going on with his mental health that he needs to date someone who is young enough
So
to
he's
be his
mentally,
daughter.
now older men are
Sure,
mentally ill for
sure,
being attracted
sure.
to young adult women.
Yep.
Mentally ill for wanting one in better shape with less baggage and less miles on them. Really. Mentally ill. She would know because she's definitely mentally ill. She can't let this go. There's cognitive dissonance in her head right now because she knows they've got her. They've got her. And she just can't let it go. She just won't.
That's
They're
creepy.
it's
creepy.
No, it's a mental illness.
I think so.
You think it's a
Walk out.
mental illness for men to be
Maybe.
attracted to like a stacked 21-year-old, like giant
Just-
fucking
well, just-
titties,
just
big
not-
fucking
well,
ass?
I don't
need you
You
to
think
agree
it's
with
a
me.
mental illness?
No, Brian, stop.
I just
It's
don't need
only
to
a mental illness if they want to date them. It's fine to fuck them.
No, I'm telling you, I don't care. It's just my opinion. It's my opinion.
All right, hang on. Let's lighten the mood. We'll lighten the mood, all right? Like, here's me throwing you a bone. You want to sing the I Just Got the Ick song? I just got
Please.
the ick. Come on,
It's
you
the
can sing it
ick.
with me.
It is the ick. It's so gross.
It got the ick.
It's so gross. What are you doing
It's
dating
so
your
gross.
grandfather?
I know, it's so gross of that chick to do that.
So
What a
just to be
gross
clear,
chick.
your position is men are mentally ill for desiring young adult women. So like 21-year-old women, it's mental illness.
It's like, yeah, why would you want to date your daughter?
What?
Well, he's
Can
not
I-
dating his daughter.
You're
He's
like,
dating.
what-
He's
what-
dating.
Not dating.
Okay,
I-
okay.
I can get. Hold on. Go ahead.
I have a sister that's not too far away from my age. Why would it be like dating my sister if I date one that's the same age? That doesn't make any sense. This is so silly. Or that you're not dating your daughter. You're dating a girl that's a similar age to your daughter. So what if you dated someone who was your age? You're probably dating someone that's older than your daughter. Does that make it like her too? What is the difference here? Just from your same age generation, that doesn't mean you're the same person.
I just want to clarify your position. You originally said mental health, right? You were like, it raises mental health concerns.
Yeah.
I agree with that. And you're using the term mental health illness. Those are two very different.
It causes mental health issues if you meet an older man and he wants to take care of you and have sex with you, but provide for you and treat you as his girlfriend and maybe marry you one day. That she's got a problem with. But if you just, find her out one night and bang her and then never call her, that's fine. That's fine. No harm in that one.
Things.
What
You can
logic?
No, they're the same.
have
They're the
mental
same,
health
girl.
symptoms.
They're the same.
Okay, so articulate what she's trying to say when she says it's a mental health thing. Yo, Payo, thank you for the raid, man. Appreciate it. Thank you, Payo. Okay, so what mental health concern is there
Well,
for
I'm
a man
just-
to be attracted to a 21-year-old adult woman? What is
This
the
isn't
mental
my
health?
point. I was just asking a clarifying question.
Back out.
That's all I was doing.
So you're trying to differentiate between mental
Well,
health and mental illness?
I was wondering if you were using the same terminology for mental health and mental illness. It's okay if you
I'm
are.
pretty
Okay,
sure
so
they're
it was
interchangeable.
first of all, it was an off the cuff comment, so it's not that serious.
Stupid
number one,
comment.
but
No, I agree.
number two, I said I would be concerned about their mental health. Why are they dating someone? And hear me out for a second before you jump in. There's a lot of men out there who are dating women, sometimes younger or the same
Yep,
age
not
as their
talking about that.
daughters.
Oh, okay.
And because that's where the daughter comment came in, because you said, well, it's not his daughter, that are about the same age. Why would you want to date someone? First of all, I have a 15-year-old son. I would never, 5 years from now, when he's 20, I would
Hold
never
on.
date a
Okay,
20-year-old.
I actually have a rebuttal to this.
Okay.
So you're saying that any characteristic which a child possesses, you must not then date a person who possesses the characteristic of your child.
No,
so
I
for
didn't say
example,
that.
if the skin color of your child is white, how dare you date somebody
didn't say
who's
that.
the same skin color
Brian, I didn't
as
say
your
that.
child? Right, but that's the logical.
I didn't say that.
Yes, I know that's not what you said.
It's not the same
But
thing, though.
do you understand how I'm trying to like make a comparison
get
here?
analogies.
You're saying that if there's a trait that your child possesses, it then becomes weird and creepy
I do
if
think
you
it's weird
date
and
somebody
creepy.
who possesses
Yeah.
the same trait. So, for example,
No.
if your child has blue eyes, you are then a predator for
Nope,
dating
I didn't
somebody
say that.
who has blue. That's your argument,
No, it's
though.
not. No, it's not.
Dude, do you really think that's what I'm saying? Do you genuinely think that I'm saying that that's what you said?
You literally just said that in your logic, any type of characteristic that person possesses.
Okay,
would
but
then be
are
off
you
the
saying
list.
that I said? Are you saying that I said that you said it verbatim?
This video was created by AI. With AI, you can create any visual you could imagine, even visuals of yourself. Yeah.
Because you're
Of
saying.
course, I know you didn't say what I just said.
But you're basically elaborating on something and taking it down a road. That wasn't even a thought in my mind.
I don't understand this comparison.
He's drawing a parallel comparison, like they're comparable.
Or we could just stay on what I actually said. So like I look.
Yes, let's just compare the thing I said to the thing that I said. Oh, it's the exact same. What are you talking about?
look at you being 21 years old as, oh my God, let me take you under my wing. Let me help you out. Let me
So
let me take care of
infantilizing.
you.
But why does she need that?
No, it's. I think I do
Creepy.
agree. Okay,
That's
I will
what you
say,
do to the generation below you.
Okay.
I
I
will
have a
say
question. I have a
speaking
question.
as a-
Do you think a 30-year-old man is mentally ill if they found her physically attractive?
There's a less than 10 year age
That's a
difference.
weird question.
Less than 10
Do you
years.
think they're mentally ill if they found her physically attractive?
There's a less than 10 years age
Okay,
difference.
35.
I would be concerned. Like, dude, what are you doing with a 21-year-old? Yeah.
I want to go back to your comment about young people being sponges. I do
Okay.
agree with that. Your prefrontal cortex doesn't start
news.
developing until you're 25.
Okay, so
it's peer
so
reviewed.
then
There's
people
multiple studies.
Yeah, it's been debunked. So should people be voting then?
Nope.
Should you be able to
Please come tell her what the prefrontal cortex actually does. Please, Andrew.
vote at
Should we
that
have a
age?
vote?
No.
Hold on. Go ahead. Should you be able to vote?
I think that given our current political system and how one vote, I think that's a hard one. I think that.
Hold on. Okay, so let me ask you a question.
She almost said it. She almost said the phrase that gets you out of it, get you out of all the trouble on whatever. She almost said, I need to go think about it. They're learning. This chick must be AI.
Okay, so with your vote, you could elect a representative, a president, congressman, represent whatever it is, who could send us to war, which could lead to a nuclear holocaust. Do you think that that's a bigger issue than being able to have a romantic sexual relationship with a man who's 20 years older than you?
I think that's a very interesting comparison to draw between those
Well,
two
hold on,
nations.
but with your vote,
completely separate.
I
with
don't
your
know how
vote,
the
you
conversation's
can
gotten here.
Yeah.
okay, with your vote, you can empower a representative who could send us to war, that could result in conceivably the some sort of catastrophic scenario where there's nuclear war.
Do you think my vote individually would have that much of an impact? One individual
Yes.
vote?
Yes, it
The
does.
elections sometimes
100%.
can come down to just 2,000 or 3,000 votes. Sometimes they can come down to just 20,000 votes. Yes, definitely your vote matters a great deal. So what Brian's ultimate point here is if your prefrontal cortex is not developed until you're 25 and you can't make rational decisions on who you will end up with, only a person with a prefrontal cortex which is fully developed can, then why would we give you the rights to drive, vote, participate in signing contracts like the military, things like that? You're basically saying that you don't have the cognitive ability to make the decision to date older men, but you have the cognitive ability to run the nation and assist in that. And that's where the comparison is, where you're like, what?
Yeah, well, it's not even make the cognitive decision to date older men. It's making the cognitive decision to make any wise dating decisions whatsoever. So should people before the age of 25 be dating at all?
But we're
With that
so
logic,
far
no,
from the
because they
actual
can't make
question.
logical decisions until they turn 25.
We're so far from the actual question. You asked me my opinion on what I thought about 21-year-old, but now we're down like voting, the
Well, no,
military.
no.
Like,
we're
can we just
making
stick to the
parallel
point?
comparisons.
The topic shifted off of you because she brought up the prefrontal cortex argument. This is a very common feminist argument, happens often, and I'm fine with the argument. I just am only fine with it if we can agree on the entailments of what that means. It's like, if you're saying that a woman's prefrontal cortex is not fully developed till 25, and because of that, she's not making good rational decisions about who she can or can't date, then why would we let her make rational decisions about other things which have impacts? That's the point.
She probably doesn't, like, young people
She
don't
has a
even
voice.
understand what
She
it
has a
means.
voice. She has a voice. She can speak. I
I'm
promise.
not talking about her.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about her.
No,
I'm talking about
Yeah.
the woman, the girl in the scenario. I'm not talking about her.
I'll let you finish.
No, you go ahead. You're good.
It's okay.
I
No.
wasn't even talking about you.
No, you're all good. I knew
Yeah.
you weren't. You're all good. I think that is an interesting question to pose. I think that it also does come to the fact that I pay taxes currently.
So do kids who work. After they get out of school and go to their job, they work too. 15, 16, 17-year-old kids work. They don't get to vote.
Do you?
Yes, I do. I pay taxes. I work. I have had multiple jobs. I pay taxes. And I do think that under a democracy, I do think that my vote, I do think I kind of, even if my prefrontal cortex hasn't developed fully.
Even if I'm not smart enough to do what I'm supposed to be doing, you should let me anyway because I pay taxes, just like 15, 16, and 17-year-olds.
Ooh.
Go ahead, Andrew.
15 and 16-year-olds pay taxes.
I'm not 15.
I know, but 15 and 16-year-olds pay taxes, so that would mean that by the entailment of that, 15 and 16-year-olds
We
should be
should
able
just
to
go back to
vote.
the question,
Right?
the original question.
What?
I said, I really just think we should all just go back to the original question.
Yeah, I know. But why? I'm sorry. I know that the attention's not 100% focused
Yeah, he was finally going on to somebody else. You want to get it back on you, dummy.
on you right this second, but we're having a conversation with somebody else because I'm curious about the worldview here as well. If you say, oh, I pay taxes, so I should be able to vote. Okay, that makes sense. But then that would apply to all taxpayers, which would include 14, 15, 16-year-olds have part-time jobs. They pay taxes. Should they be able to vote?
No.
There's a question for you.
I know, I'm taking a moment to think.
Sure. Yeah, no problem.
I think she's going to do it here. I remember she did it, I think.
I personally don't think that I would be able to give an answer on that right now. I don't know. I think that I'd have to think about it longer. And
There
I
you
think
go.
that we should move on to the next
for you.
person and keep discussing. I was simply just trying to add on that I agreed with one of your earlier points and I respect your opinion.
hear, kid.
I was only trying to do that,
You
and
were
that
out
has
of it.
led us down a million gajillion rabbit holes, and I think that we should continue moving around.
Do you want? So, are you just conceding the point then?
Well, there's no point to concede to. You asked me my opinion.
And you notice, they just moved on. Just like I told you they would. They always do. That's the simple. This young girl who's not able to date older men is smarter than this old hag beside of her. Huh.
And I gave you my opinion. And you guys, like vultures, are like, hold on, let's talk about the military and voting and all these other things. I just said it gave me the ick. I don't like it. And I don't need you to agree or disagree.
Well, I think the
What
whole.
do you mean? What do you mean, like vultures?
Andrew,
just been asking
you and I
questions
have
one
done
at a
this
time.
before. You and I have done this before.
She lost that time too.
Oh, you mean when I was in a room where I was outnumbered 9-1?
You're not
Oh,
outnumbered
did I
ever.
traumatize you in a room where I was outnumbered
You never
9-1?
traumatized me.
Really? Are you serious?
Andrew,
outnumbered.
you're not outnumbered.
Did that mean you outnumbered 9-1 and I was the vulture? Like what?
No, I didn't say that. And you weren't outnumbered at all. There was like 5 guys on that show.
No, there wasn't.
Yeah, there
there was
was.
the host, and the host stayed silent for the entirety of the show except Sartain, who moved it
There was
on.
5
And it
guys
was
on that
me and
show.
one other guest. It was me and one other guest.
No, there was Michael. I
Yeah,
forget
the
other guy's name.
hosts. Those are the hosts.
Yeah,
They didn't
there's
say
5
shit the
guys.
whole show. They didn't say anything the whole show.
That doesn't mean they
It
weren't
was-
there.
It was all women versus 2 guys, and the other guy barely said anything. So I don't know if you how we were the vultures, but okay.
All right. Well, I do want to get the other panelists in on this. So back to the original thing. Toby Maguire, your thoughts
Thank you.
on.
It's going back to her. Don't worry.
No, I'm trying to reel it all out.
You had a lot of time to think about it.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot at once.
Okay, he's 49, she's 20. Your thoughts?
I believe it's anybody's opinion against their own because I have been and I have known people in age gap relationships or casualties to where I'm like, I know one couple that is still together to this day. I believe
So she has nothing to say. It's okay to just say, I don't have anything to say on this topic, too. I would just say that if I didn't have anything more than this. Like, oh, I know an old lady that's with a young guy. Okay, cool. One person. What does that mean?
she's 18 and he's 40. And they've been together for
The body scanner reveals the brutal truth about your body that your regular scale will never tell you. For weeks, my
I think it's 20. I might have the age difference.
They
up.
met
But they met
when she was 18
Yes.
and he was 40. She's about to say that together. I think we can all agree we object to that.
It was a consensual it's a consensual relationship. I have been to their place to where I'm like they pretty much act like an old married couple.
So when they met, she was 18 and he was 40.
Yes.
Okay. But in terms of
reality check donated $200. So, Bimbo Lady basically called all men mentally ill. Congratulations. Now all your potential partners are mentally ill. Have fun with that.
It's actually true because most men are attracted to young adult women.
Yeah. Well, what about if it's the opposite? What happens if the women go after the men?
Yeah, that's fine.
Just let me clarify.
Thought she was out, and you're back in.
Again, first of all, I did not say that if they're attracted to younger women is a problem. I said if they're pursuing someone the same age as their daughter, that's weird. That's weird, and I would be concerned.
Let me ask you a question. Let's say there's a 50-year-old man with a daughter and a 50-year-old man without a daughter. Is there any differentiation there?
No, I feel like that generational.
But they're the same age.
No,
I don't
think
understand.
like a 20-year gap is so
No, answer
massive.
the question. Answer the question.
Okay, what is your question? What's the actual question?
A 50-year-old man without a daughter and a 50-year-old man with a daughter. They're the same age.
Mm-hmm.
Do you object to them both?
Yes.
But he doesn't have a daughter.
I'm saying that large of an age.
Yeah, it might just be you're jealous, lady. It might just be you're jealous. Like everyone's been thinking since this started.
Age gap.
It could be the daughter's age.
That large of an age gap is gross to me. It's gross. And going back to the mentally ill thing, I don't need you to agree with me. I don't need you to agree with me.
Okay, so it's a mental illness, though, for men to be attracted to like a 21-year-old.
Not to be attracted, but why are you dating her? Why are you dating her? Yeah, absolutely. I think it's weird.
My last follow-up that I have on
weird.
this, and then I agree, we've kind of beaten the dead horse,
Yeah,
right?
I think it's weird.
She's the dead horse.
My last follow-up, would you ever accept from me the argument that I do not condone LGBTQ because I find it to be gross? Would you ever say that that's okay?
That's your opinion. That's your opinion. So like, if you...
Yeah, you wouldn't question my opinion, though. If I wanted to vote to legislate it or things like that, then would you oppose it?
It's not
then would I have to have justifications for it?
It's your vote. You can do whatever you want with your vote.
So you wouldn't even question it? You would just say, no problem, it's just your opinion. The question is if I have a problem with it or not. I have a problem with it. So what if somebody said that they didn't like other races because they find it icky? Would you say anything about their opinion then?
Again, I'm talking about my opinion here. I'm talking about my opinion.
So you have no opinions about anybody else's opinions, even if you disagree with them?
I didn't say I had an issue with them being attracted to younger women. I said I have an issue with them pursuing the younger women.
You don't really answer questions.
Because it gives you the ick. But if the argument is just it's the ick.
Ask your question, Brian, because I just did.
But if the argument is just it gives you the ick, then I don't know. Couldn't I use that argument for basically any form of discrimination I could ever think of?
Sure.
And would you have anything to say about that, or would you just be like, oh, that's fine, it's your opinion?
Well, I didn't come to argue, first and foremost. I didn't come to argue or debate.
You didn't come on to an adversarial dating
topics. I did not come to argue, so that's why I'm saying we should.
Well, did you just come to monologue?
I came to have a conversation, not to argue.
That's what we're doing.
No, we're
not. That conversation's become adversarial.
No, we're not. When you guys are laughing, rolling your eyes, like making statements and comments that basically try to invalidate my opinion and things like that.
Wait, hang on. Yes, it's okay for me to make arguments that invalidate your opinion if I disagree with it, one. And two, you think that we have a monopoly on eye rolling in this conversation? Really?
If you're having just like a regular conversation, there's a respect level where you're exchanging ideas, but that's not what's happening here.
So now she's going to pretend like they've been being disrespectful. Like they've insulted her in some way. And they haven't even told her yet that they think that it's because she's just jealous of these women. They haven't even came to that yet. I don't know if they end up telling her, but it's pretty obvious. I'm sure Andrew and Brian have come to that conclusion that it's about jealousy. This is not about thinking it's icky or anything like that. It's because she's jealous. She wants guys that age.
That's not what's happening here. It's like 3-4 people at a time jumping in to like basically invalidate that person's opinion.
Yeah, what if their opinion's wrong and you wanted to invalidate? Like, for instance, if you were a racist who just said, I don't like X race because I find it icky, what would be wrong with 4 of us jumping in and going back and forth with that person one at a time in order to invalidate a bad opinion?
They're 2 completely different topics.
No, the logic is exactly the same. If somebody gets the justification of ick,
they're different topics, but the logic is the same.
The justification of ick is ick.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's different logic when it hurts her head.
Anyways, did you give an answer?
Yes.
Did we get an answer?
Yes.
What was it?
I think it's to each their own as long as they're consenting adults.
Okay, so no issues with Tobey Maguire, 49, dating 20-year-old Lily.
No.
Okay, your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think that's weird or anything like that. I mean,
Okay, you're fine with it.
I don't care. They're adults. They want to do
Wait,
it.
can you just scoot your mic to the edge of the
Sorry.
table?
They're adults. They can do what they want to do. She's 21. Apparently, it's adult.
You should probably scoot your chair in, so.
no problem with it.
I could not care less. Women tend to mature quicker than men, anyways. I would not date anybody my age.
Do you guys just show of hands?
What about their Abdullah oblongata? I mean, their prefrontal cortex, though. Did you ever think about that? What about their prefrontal cortex? Never even thought about that, did you? You just thought, well.
Mama says alligators are mean because they got a medulla oblongata.
They mature faster.
See,
So
that's
it's fine.
not having a conversation, Brian. That's where now you're
That
being
was
a
me
dick to
making
her.
a joke, and you see how
It's
she
not a
laughed. I know
joke.
that you're allergic to laughter
not a
and having
joke.
any sort of a good time, but you know, it was clearly a joke.
That's where you're like being
joking.
disrespectful.
That was the opposite of disrespect. I was making fun of you by laughing with her.
I didn't say
That's
anything
not
about the
disrespectful.
prefrontal, but yeah.
Okay. Do you have any further thoughts on the Tobey Maguire?
I think there are other reasons besides mental illness that a man would be interested in dating someone who's younger. My roommate and I discuss this topic regularly, where we're.
Has anyone thought about tightness? Might be a good reason.
We don't want to date someone who's over the age of like 30, 31, 32, because one, they all have all of this extra life baggage. Like, why have you matured now? What took you so long in your life to be like, okay, now I'm going to start considering marriage specifically? Two, I'm wondering, am I going to be able to actually have a family with you? I know women have a clock and it's ticking. I want to have a bunch of kids. I want to have a large family. That's really important to me. I don't want to spend the first 5 to 10 years of my marriage deprogramming all of that emotional baggage, all of that trauma, all of that, whatever word you want to use, whatever buzzword. I don't want to have to spend all that time doing that at the same time as trying to raise a family, maybe having your emotional trauma baggage poured into the kids, into those impressionable minds. I don't want to have to deal with that. So I understand why a man any age, whether that's 49, whether that's 20, would want to date a woman who's a little younger. It makes sense. And there are other reasons besides mental illness that they would want to do so.
And tightness.
Okay.
Do you want to walk back the mental illness thing, or you're pretty confident?
I said that I'd be wondering what's going on with them mentally, that they would be attracted to someone 20 years their junior. So no, I'm not walking
so it is
back.
attracted.
Slipped up again, said attracted, not dating. She has a problem with both of them, but she's willing to accept the attracted as long as they're just fucking and getting the fuck out of her way. She doesn't care, but she doesn't want them dating. But she has a problem with both.
Before you said
to
dated,
date, to be
but
with.
you just
yeah,
said
today. Sure.
if they're attracted.
I mean,
so just by virtue of being attracted to a 21-year-old woman.
Co-producer is going to give you unique sounds that actually fits your track in seconds. Let me show you. First,
listen, I'll go in a little bit further here, okay? When I have conversations with people that are 20 years younger than me, or let's say, just to keep it like at 20, right? Sorry, what?
Nothing.
I'm looking at them as like, they're immature, they're not experienced in any way, shape, or form. They're vulnerable, they're impressionable, right? Their eyes wide open, deer in the headlight, right? To me, if a man is 20 years older, and by the way, somebody said in here that chat right there, like 30 is appropriate.
She's thinking that way because the children that she's meeting look at her like an old lady. They're not looking to date her. I'm sure they don't look at her all doe-eyed and acting like, Richie Cunningham whenever they're around their friends, but they think of you as like, their mom's friend or something. Of course they look at you all doughy-eyed and shit. They don't want you knowing what they do. But they're just little humans. They do the same fucked up shit she did when you were that age.
But I'm talking about early 20s. They're barely out of high school. And if you're going to consider like being with them, having a relationship with them, settling down with them, etc., like you're preying on them. It's like they're not even on the same level as you. Like, what do you have in common with someone 20 years your junior? They probably can't even name a pop artist from your generation.
Really? There's a whole lot there.
I just dated a 45-year-old woman, and I hated every song she put on. So what does that matter?
You said pray. You mentioned the commonality thing.
Yeah.
Okay, what in general do men and women have in common to begin with? That would be sufficient enough to, just on the basis of having a commonality, would be like, I'm wanting to date this person just on the basis of us having shit in common. Said no one ever.
That's not true, Brian.
Said
That's
no one
literally not true.
Bro, have you ever known a guy who you had the most in common with, but you didn't end up dating them?
Yes.
I mean, I have friends that I have a lot in common with that we didn't date because there's chemistry and sexual attraction that is
it's clear,
as well.
But would you agree it's clear then that having commonalities is not high in the totem pole of
No, I disagree.
what matters?
I collect knives. I don't want to date a woman who collects knives. Yuck. Have you ever seen women who collect knives?
I disagree.
You mentioned pop artists. I don't give a fuck what kind of music a girl listens to. And if she's dating me long enough, she's going to like my shit.
That's so weird that you would like suggest that she would have to like your shit. Like,
that's not what I said.
But she will.
That's not what I said.
Yeah, I just disagree. I just think a 20-year age gap. I just think a 20-year age gap is wild.
Right, but you said
like,
pop
why?
artists.
I brought it up as like an example.
Okay,
like
fine.
it's just a random example.
So then cultural touchstones. Oh, we watch the same shows. We both listen to the same music.
Like the same.
I don't care.
I think having things in common.
I have never sat around with a girl I just banged and talked about old Happy Days episodes. It just never came up.
If all you care about is your sexual attraction, period, and that's where you end it. Okay, I just want to clarify.
But just to clarify,
common.
I think liking the same music is far more superficial than what you're trying to suggest here by there's the sexual component. Who your favorite pop artist is, same music.
It's just one example.
I like metal. Have you ever seen what metal chicks look like when they're in their 40s? It ain't good. So I gotta date women that like all kind of music. I just put earplugs in or something. I just ignore it. But yeah, that doesn't mean anything.
Of having something in common.
Okay,
with
what are some
someone.
things in common that would warrant me to date somebody?
I think you should have a lot of things in common. I think you should enjoy doing the same things, going to the same places, hanging out with the same people.
Okay, I don't like
I would say the only thing really is like morals and maybe.
Right, but maybe.
I'm not disagreeing or agreeing with either, but I'm saying as far as agreements, the only thing I could see that would make sense to me personally would be maybe morals. Religious, if you're a religious person, maybe religion based.
You could, but there's nothing.
There are old and young people who are religious.
Having good morals and having hold on, let me finish.
Exactly.
Hold on, let me finish. Having good morals and having a religious worldview. You could be 21.
No, 100%.
And be involved in your faith.
No,
you could be 45 and be an atheist.
100%. I'm just saying that's the only thing as far as
You're not speaking into the
I'm just
mic.
saying as far as being agreeable or having things in common, that's the only thing I could see as far as being justifiable of wanting to have those things agreeable, being in the same things in alignment as far as morals and religion. But I'm not saying you have to be the same age.
You can have that in the age.
I'm not saying that
again,
it has to be an age
make an
thing.
argument for the commonality component here.
But don't you want to date people that they're going to teach you something?
No.
Men don't. I mean,
I don't want to be taught.
Not teach you something, but like, not teach you something. Not teach you something. I guess that was the right word. That wasn't the right word. That wasn't the right word.
Okay, go ahead.
So like, you like that kind of music because that's what she brought up. You like that kind of music. I like this kind. I've never heard that. Sure, let me hear it. You want to do that? Sure.
That's not how that works. That's not how that works. Girl, I just was talking about. She'd put on her music and I would just tune it out. I'm not gonna start to like slow jams and shit just because she put it on. I've heard slow jams. I don't like them. It's not gonna make me like them. That's silly. This is woman bullshit. They're just yapping just to hear themselves yap.
It's a commonality.
They didn't talk in a lot for a while, so they're just trying to get some words in.
It doesn't have to be.
I don't think it's a commonality though. I think it's more of just being in agreement with sharing
Why do opposites attract though? Why is that a thing? Like there's some people have something and then the other person completes that, and that turns into a match.
Wait, so just
there you go. One's young and one's old. They're opposites. That's why they're attracted to each other.
to be clear, so commonality, that's super important.
I think it's important.
Having things in common.
I think so.
I don't think it's
Really?
important.
Okay.
No, I don't think
You
it's
think
important.
for either men or women, people are looking at like, oh, we have so much in common. If that were the case, you would be, if commonality was really up there, wouldn't people sort for that?
So, first of all, when you ask me these questions, like the whole like smug, like I know better, I know that, like I already disagree with you, but you're asking just to make a
star.
Okay,
hold on.
No, I go to a Taylor
Wait,
Swift
hold on. I'm
concert.
gonna finish
Nobody.
something. I'm gonna finish something just
I mean,
really
not
quick.
even me, but I'm saying
having a conversation. If that's what we're doing, we're having a conversation. Let's have a conversation to be open to other people's ideas and opinions and views and walks of
Well,
life.
I'm firm
But
in my
that's not what you're
beliefs,
doing.
so-
Well, so am I. And
Well,
so
I'm open. I'm actually open to having my mind changed.
we can have a volley of conversation, but like the whole where I have an issue with these types of conversations is when you already are getting ready to make a point to like flip.
I'm already ready.
Exactly.
ready.
But it's like you're not even like open for the conversation.
Well,
So
hold on.
why are you asking me a question?
You're not even open and listening to my ideas. They're stupid and letting them get into your head. Rattle around.
Hey, listen, I think that's a fair criticism. So I'll tell you, I'm totally open to having my mind changed. In fact, I hate cognitive dissonance. That's a thing that I despise. I've tried to get rid of as much cognitive dissonance in myself as I possibly can. Totally open to having my mind changed. That's why I love having combos like this.
Yeah,
absolutely. But the thing is are you willing to have your mind changed?
I would be open to it for sure, but where I'm specifically referencing.
Well, how can we do that if we don't? Hang on, I'm almost done. I just wanted a quick yes or no to that, and the reason, here's why. If you're open to having your mind changed, and we're having this conversation, how in the world could I change your mind without showing you if we apply this kind of thinking or the rigidity in thinking of I got the ick, and then take it to its logical conclusion, and you see that the position itself is absurd? How else can I get you to change your mind? Can you actually explain that to me?
Sure.
I actually do want to know the answer to that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's really difficult for you to completely change the topic in the sake of parallel ideas. You should just stay on the actual topic and maybe ask onion layer peeling questions about how did I get to that logic? So then you would understand where I'm coming from, and you could even have an intelligent conversation where maybe there's holes in my logic on that topic.
Great. Then let's start with how did you come to the position that a age gap relationship is icky?
I'm going to answer that in 1 second.
How did you come to this?
I will answer that in 1 second, but I want to finish what I was saying to Brian. Like, see, like rolling your eyes, shaking your head.
Because she just asked for this onion bullshit and he's trying to play along and she's still being disagreeable.
Because it's a meta conversation.
No, it's not meta. It's just you being a jerk.
Do you know what a meta conversation is?
I sure do.
What is it?
A meta conversation was where you're just ice layering on top of each other, where you're not actually addressing the topic.
That's not a meta conversation.
Or the whataboutism.
That's not a conversation. Is a conversation about the conversation.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I meant by the layering. You're talking about the same thing. So what I want to like, I think it's really important to address. We all drove here and came here for your show, right?
Okay, meta conversation.
No.
You're literally having a meta conversation.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
But if we're going to have a conversation, we can have a conversation. But when you're being disrespectful, that's not a conversation.
Well, see, when it comes to the eye rolling, see, perhaps you might view it as disrespectful. But for example, if somebody were to say, Brian, I want to argue with you about the fact that I think that the sky is red.
I don't want to argue at all. I already said that.
Okay, if...
Want to start a podcast, but not sure how? Riverside has got you covered. First, go.
If somebody says something ridiculous, so ridiculous that it warrants an eye roll, I don't see any actual objection there. If somebody's going to say, Brian, the sky's not blue, I don't even know how to have that conversation. And some of the eye roll comes from you saying, I mean, I actually find it quite almost despicable that you want to paint men. You said men prey, men are predators, men are mentally, you would question their mental health. I mean, that's very objectionable language because you're essentially painting almost most or all men as having a pathology, which I object to and I find ludicrous. And when it comes to this commonality thing, I just find that absurd. I mean, why even engage in it? Because it's just ridiculous if you genuinely think that commonality is high on the totem pole in terms of what people find attractive.
I completely disagree with you.
You disagree that in terms of my assessment of what you said, you've pathologized all men or most men.
No,
you think
I-
they're predatory. You think
didn't
they're
say that.
You said prey.
I said
Did
if
you
there's
say
a
prey?
20-plus
Did-
year age gap,
did
let's
the
be
words-
clear, the
did
20-plus year
words-
age gap.
Yes, that's the context of which I'm addressing this. Did you say the word prey?
When there's a
Did-
20-year age gap, yes.
Okay, so, but you also said it about even men who find them attractive. You did say that too.
And she already admitted that the younger girls are most probably going for men for their money. And she doesn't think that's predatory, and they're not preying on these older men. She doesn't think that. Wonder why.
Yeah, I think it's weird. Why would you?
Okay, and you
Yeah.
think it's predatory? You think they're
If you
preying?
pursue it, yeah.
You think they're preying, right? So you're pathologizing. So there's the justification for my eye roll. It's just an absurd statement.
Well, it's my opinion.
Well, so
Andrew was trying to get
claiming
into
be
this. Okay, if you're
open-minded, yeah.
okay.
Listen, it's perfectly acceptable to have an opinion, and I do want to hear it. Like, that's why I come on these shows, because I enjoy hearing your opinions.
Yeah.
The reason that I enjoy hearing your opinions is because often, and I've had to change my mind multiple times about different positions that I've had, especially after starting whatever, because I didn't know very much about modern dating. I didn't know very much about how this stuff went at all. And I've been forced to change my opinions many times because I was suffering from cognitive dissonance. There's no doubt about it. There was many things which I had a completely skewed view on that I no longer do after engaging in these panels. So I do want to hear your opinion, but I think you got to listen to ours as well. I think that that's a kind of the fair exchange. So my olive branch here is like, look, we've engaged before, right? And you know that if you give me your opinion, you're genuine. I am going to deconstruct it a bit. But we don't even have to be disrespectful about it. We just go through the opinion and figure this thing out. Right?
Yeah, I agree with everything that you just said when it's done respectfully, but when it's like, it's so clear, like we're not even having a conversation because
That's
you're
tone
closed off.
policing. Come on,
It's like-
don't tone police. That's just,
It's okay.
It's tone policing.
Well, I'm gonna
Well, what's happening
leave the
right now?
conversation if it's not respectful.
What I perceive is happening right now is you're unwilling to engage with the argument because you're feeling offended by the tone. Whereas you could be generous to the other person. Maybe you could even say, Brian's a little immature in his delivery. That's fine. But if you're a mature adult willing to engage with the actual argument that's being posed, I can put away the immaturity. I can put away the disrespect. I've had plenty of people on panels before really disrespect me and how they say things, but I still genuinely engage with the argument that's being presented to me, regardless of how they say it. And I think you should be able to do that as a mature adult. Now, I'm giving this as like a critique to your argumentation style. So instead of attacking somebody because of the way they say
who did I
things,
attack?
Brian.
I attacked him.
Well, you're okay.
I don't
Maybe
think
I don't
it's
want to say the
necessarily
word
an attack.
Okay,
I think women have a hard time
Okay,
sometimes
maybe I need
admitting
to-
that they're
okay,
wrong.
well, see, there it goes again. Well, there it goes
Everyone
again.
does.
Because I used the word attack, you're unwilling to engage with what I'm saying right now.
Yeah.
So maybe instead of, so if I say attack, maybe you can translate in that in your mind to say, okay, maybe he's making an argument, or we're having a spirited discussion. Maybe I'm not going to judge him based on the tone or the words he says. Maybe I want to interpret the meaning he's trying to get across with saying what he's saying. It's a really immature way to go about having a discussion with somebody, judging them based upon the verbiage, the language, and the tone of what they're using.
I got this. Okay, duly noted. Anyways, why don't you engage with Andrew? Go.
Okay.
Noted. Duly noted. Go ahead. Have the
Yeah,
conversation.
so I do genuinely want to know how you came to this opinion.
Well, one, I'm a woman who was once in her early 20s, and I did engage with, and when I just want to be clear, I'm not saying sexually, but like I did have conversations. I did have men hitting on me. I did, work in environments, et cetera, where there was a lot of men that were acting predatorily because I was so young, impressionable, and easy to, coerce to do different things, go different places, et cetera.
Yeah, that guy's right.
I've had a lot of negative experiences with men that are much older than me.
And she doesn't understand. All those guys that hit on her and tried to get her to, she didn't want to. And they said, okay, cool, and moved on. How's that any different than a younger guy that hits on her and does the same thing? It's the same age as her. It's the same exact thing. They hit on you and you either accept or you decline and they move along. How is that predatory?
And if now that I'm older, my number one piece of advice to younger women is try to just keep it around the same age as you. Like, I don't think, 20 years.
And she just said she never even had any of these relationships. She doesn't know. They could have been the best relationship of her life. She has no idea. She just already thought they were predatory, so she didn't want to do it, so she declined. And now she's deciding for every other woman that because she decided that, now they have to too.
30 years older than you is appropriate. That's just my personal opinion from my personal lived experiences.
Andrew, I have something on this. If
okay, yeah, sure, go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, so you mentioned that you dated men who were older and they were bad experiences. Yeah. Don't doubt that at all. But I also hear from women, for example, who date men their own age and have also bad experiences. So it's not clear to me that it really matters. If you're trying to avoid bad experience.
Look at the 20 to 25-year-old population. How many of them are married? So it sounds like every relationship they're in is ending too. Doesn't it? So what's the difference?
I don't see really what age has to do with it. A guy the same age as you can be just as or more abusive and controlling as an older guy.
Sure can. I just, again, my personal opinion based on my personal lived experiences is that there should be a smaller age gap. I say 10 years is roughly the max.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have a question for
When
you.
you're guiding women, because you said this was your number one piece of advice for younger women, and I didn't get that wrong. I'm not strawmanning that,
Nope.
right? You did say that's your number one piece of advice.
Yeah.
Do you usually guide them only via anecdote?
Clarify what you mean.
Like only your personal experience?
I also, I take into account, who that girl is, their experience, like, a lot of different factors. But in general, young women who are in their early 20s, fresh out of high school, maybe newly going into college. When you graduate when you're 18, fresh out of high school is 2 years ago.
That's not that fresh, but okay. Fair enough.
All right. Well,
I
I'm just saying young
understand.
women.
Let's say within 5 years, it's fresh. We'll just say that for the kind of like the sake of however it is that you feel. But do you understand? So when I talk to different men, I don't actually give advice, right? I make sure not to, because if I'm not intricately familiar with a person's personal situation, I feel like I could actually make it worse if I gave them bad advice. So I tend to stay away from advice giving at all. But one thing I do tell people, and this is the one thing I'll tell anybody who listens, is there is a proper way to think. There's a proper way to think and there's an improper way to think. And so when I listen to you kind of go through this, what I'm looking for is how is she thinking about this? Why is she thinking about it this way? And why is she arriving at that conclusion? Because most people come to improper conclusions because they have not been taught to properly think. So if we start with an anecdote of you have bad experience with X, that really doesn't mean shit ultimately, right? It would actually be improper thinking to say, because I had negative experiences in field X, that therefore other people are going to have negative experiences. You would want to look at kind of the whole in order to make a good conclusion before you were to give somebody advice, right? You would agree with that, wouldn't you?
Same as statistics.
Need a hand? How about a banana? Nano Banana is now on artlist.io, so you can...
I don't really think it's that deep though, Andrew. I'm just more referring to, when I do have younger women approaching me and talking to me about their male situations, I will go off of what they've shared and I will encourage them to date within their own age range.
Can I ask you a question about that?
But that has vast implications for a person's life, right? It does. Giving a person advice about who they should or shouldn't date has massive implications for the outcomes of their life.
Well, when I'm asked for my advice, sometimes will give it. Not always, but sometimes.
And I understand. That's okay.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people who give advice, when they're asked in this type of thing. I tend not to. But don't you think that if you're a person who does give advice, that you should be coming to proper conclusions before you give it out.
Sure.
Yeah. So
Sorry, what were you
when we're
gonna say?
thinking, so when we're thinking about this, the reason that I'm gauging what you're saying and the reason
She's trying to move it along. Doesn't work.
I'm diving into what you're saying and the reason I want to change your mind about what it is that you're saying is because I think you're coming to an improper conclusion based on bad thinking. And I think that I can assist with that. And so that's why I want the opinion and why it is that you think this. And if all you can say is it's justified via ick, there's no way in the world because you could justify anything with ick, right? You could justify any discriminatory behavior with ick. You can justify hating women with ick. You could justify hating men with ick. You could justify anything with ick. So that would be improper thinking, wouldn't it?
I don't know, Andrew. I'm. This is again just my opinion. What were you gonna say?
My question is, so when I sit there and I look at men my age where I'm from, most of them can't tell their left ass cheek from the right. Okay? So when I sit there and I say I look at men 30 plus years old because they know what they want, they've been through life, they're
How old
ready
are you?
to settle
Sorry,
down.
How old are you again?
I'm sorry?
How old are you again?
I'm 26.
You're 26. Okay, that's 30.
So
Great.
30, 40, 50
That's
year
great.
old men, that's who I tend to
40,
look
50?
at. Right, because they have their shit together, they know what they want. Men in their 20s, men in their 30s, they don't know what they want typically.
They're
It's
the
very,
ones.
very rare to find that. So I don't
Well, this old lady decided that's who you have to date now because you're not supposed to date anyone older. Those are for her.
necessarily agree with your point of they should be closer together. Like I said, women tend to mature significantly quicker than men. I know a lot of women in their 20s who are ready to settle down, but the men aren't.
I have one question for you.
But they're waiting for millionaires and billionaires. So that's why they got to wait.
Would you prefer, here's the scenario. So a woman dates a man who's, say she's 21, dates a 35-year-old. Just really quick, do you object to that age gap?
It's getting a little out there, but it's not
It's
as
enough
bad
to give
as
you the
40.
ick.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not as bad as 40.
So let's say he's a good guy, he wants a monogamous relationship, doesn't cheat on her, wants long-term. Or would you prefer to see that woman, say, in the period over the course of 2 years, get kind of strung along by like fuck boys her age? Which do you prefer?
I think if the guy is like genuinely a good guy and actually interested in her, like for more than just her physical looks and her appearance and the fact that she can pop out 20 babies, like there's actually like care for her,
What else is left?
then I think that a 35-year-old, 21-year-old, it's pushing it from my personal opinion. But I think that to your point, would be a better scenario than her.
Does it change if
Yeah.
she's 40?
What do you-
Or sorry,
sorry.
excuse me. Does it change if he's 40?
I just wonder why, like, out of all
No,
of
but okay, so the question
Many
is, in this scenario, he's a good guy, monogamous, wants a long-term
it raises
relationship
more
with her.
questions for me.
Right. But would you rather see her in the situation with the older man who wants to have a long-term monogamous relationship with her, is not going to cheat, going to be loyal, or for her to just be hoeing around and sleep with 20 frat boys her age? Which would you prefer to see?
I mean, I prefer them both to be settled and happy.
not the
but
question.
It just,
That's not the question.
I literally
Answer the question.
At the stage of their life.
There's two options. Which would you prefer to see?
the 21-year-old and the 35-year-old.
Okay, so I changed it to 40. So
Okay. I still think,
21-year-old
I think it's
with the
starting to get
40-year-old.
weird at 40, but
Yes,
I do
you've
prefer.
already said that.
I know, but I was in the middle of saying I would prefer to see them both like settled and happy. And again, it's a little uncomfortable for me, but I would prefer that for both of them.
Over
yes.
her sleeping with men
And him,
her
but
age.
yes, yeah.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, because it's really common in these particular red pill settings that like.
Is this a red pill setting?
Come on.
Are you
I mean,
fucking
there's
retarded?
options there,
I'm
so-
sorry, what?
There was an option.
Bro,
there.
you
Anyways.
dropped the prop.
Well, I didn't know it was gonna come out.
Well, I mean, probably shouldn't play with props.
Brian, you don't need to be so rude.
Could I make a comment as soon as?
Like, why would you call me fucking retarded?
Because, I mean, you dropped the prop. It's on the floor now. You
Because they've been explaining shit to you for the past hour and a half and you still don't get it.
haven't done anything to pick it up.
Well, I would, but I'm a little distracted by you calling me fucking retarded.
Yeah, I mean, here's the tone policing again. So, is this a rage quit?
Like
No,
other.
I'm not rage quitting. You're just so disrespectful. Like who?
You
That's
literally,
disrespectful.
yeah.
Hang on. Listen, hang on. It's been super hostile. Let's finish the you don't want to finish the convo?
I want you, Andrew, but I'm not gonna
It was kind of fucking
She
retarded.
was also
She would hate to hear
insulting
me
and
drive.
the mental illness and
It was
the,
a little.
I don't want to hear the roommate.
Can I make a quick
That's
comment?
serious with me, girl.
Well,
She did call every man mentally ill. Like, every man is attracted more to younger girls, like physically. I mean, doesn't mean you want to go date them, but you're definitely more physically attracted to them. So she started the name calling,
yeah, hey, it happens.
I can agree with you.
and she did act retarded. So
Yo, Desmond, you can't be on your phone right now, man.
I think that's where this one ends. That's all I wanted to get into. Just more woman delusions. So yeah, she walks out. That was the end of this one. There we go. All right, that was it for today. Just wanted to show y'all some more whatever clips. Just showing you how